That wasn't that good. Welcome back to Ian's pod. I mean the king of the beans.
The truth finally comes out.
Yeah, we all knew it was you all
Oh,
along.
suddenly this is your podcast.
I mean, I have been the king for 4 episodes.
Yeah, well, that's
It is unprecedented.
stuff.
Well, the beans have chosen.
Sure, whatever.
I mean, the beans have spoken.
The beans have spoken.
I don't know.
The heart of the beans.
No, that's not how that works. Anyways.
So, today I want to talk about something that has been very prevalent in our life recently, and that is moving.
Oh, yeah.
So Josh
So
and
recent in
I
our lives.
just moved yesterday. Ryan was there with me helping out.
I was not. I was at my first week of work.
Yeah, so
Josh
Josh
got
started
a
a
new
new job
job
on Tuesday. Congrats to Josh.
Hey!
Yay! Get that money.
Get that money. I will not disclose where I'm working. Drugs. Anyways, yes.
He's the new breadwinner.
If only. That'd be nice.
I know.
Just
But-
to make more.
Yes.
But yes, it is.
But yeah, so we moved from his brother's house
Mm-hmm.
to a new apartment that has been remodeled. We're like the second people to move into the building.
Honestly, it feels like we're the first. I genuinely don't know where our neighbors are at.
I only know that
They're the
there's-
ones with the plants outside the
Yeah.
Like,
apartment.
for sure. Okay.
I mean, who else would be there?
Why would there be plants
I don't
outside?
know,
if there
maybe
wasn't
it was
anybody
the-
there?
Because that wasn't there like a week ago.
Maybe it was the ghost of Christmas past or present.
You're right. I didn't
Or
consider
future.
that.
No, not future. Future doesn't care about plants. Everyone knows that.
In the future, there are no plants.
No,
Anyway,
they're not.
but yeah, other.
The topic for today.
By the end of this weekend, there should be like 4 apartments moved into. So we're not alone, but it's very empty right now, which is very weird.
Yeah.
But
Nice for moving though. We didn't have to worry about other people.
yeah, it was nice for moving. I was worried that we'd all be trying to use the broken elevators at the same time.
No, lucky for us, the broken elevators stay broken.
And the staircase was ours.
Yeah.
But yeah, so moving's been such a hassle. We don't have a ton of stuff, but we do have things. And a bed and a couch and stuff like that. And that was such a pain to move from my last apartment.
Oh, it was such a pain last time. Do you want to talk about last time? Last time was such a hassle for you. It stressed you out to no extent, and I hope that this was less stressful than that.
Building up to it this time was really stressful, but the actual moving of it was not as stressful.
That's good.
I feel like this time, if I may speak as an outsider, was more stressful because having to move was kind of sprung on you, and the
Sure.
timeline was not.
I'm talking about the actual moving day itself.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like you said, building up to it was more stressful because it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
Whereas the last time it was.
The day of
Planned.
was the worst.
Yeah.
But, okay, so let's bring it back a little bit.
Bring it back now.
So I'm the... So,
2 hops this time.
Boop. So within the last, 6 years, I've moved a total of 5 times.
Truth.
And that's been a lot. But I've usually never had that many things. It's mostly, my computer setup and a desk.
Mm-hmm.
Because for my first job, I moved down to Irvine for a little bit. Stayed there a couple months, lived with some friends somewhere else in OC for a couple years. Pandemic hit, moved back home, and that's when, it was wonderful moving during COVID because going from Orange County to LA, there's 0 traffic, so we went there and back in a morning.
That's
pretty much.
that's the only thing
And
I
it
missed
was-
from COVID times.
It was so beautiful,
No traffic.
and we were able to load up the whole car, get all my stuff, and it was great.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got my current job, which is down in LA, closer to the city, because right now we're on the outskirts of the county.
Mm-hmm.
And that was rough, but I still didn't have a lot of things, and my bed and stuff got shipped to the place, so I didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But then, and I was on the 3rd floor, so things getting shipped to me was great. Moving them out was terrible.
Oh, terrible. Also, before we go any further, so at some point too, and I always have to bring this up because it's just a key memory now.
You know what he's gonna bring up?
But at his apartment over there, there was a bunch of tenants, and there was one group of people one family that was moving out, and they were giving away a free couch, And so the couch was like on the other side of like the apartments.
Yeah, so it was a large property, probably couple 100 or more than 100
it was big.
units.
It was a big distance.
There were like 12 buildings.
Yeah, and they were on the other side where we were at. So we had, thank God for the people there, helped us move the couch. But getting up the stairs was such a hassle because it didn't fit in the elevator, allegedly, at the time.
It was a small little like passenger elevator, which maybe fit 4 people.
Yeah, at
Maybe.
best.
And we couldn't get the elevator in. We tried a couple times, and then we were like, all right.
But yeah, we moved it and eventually got it up this flight of stairs. The people left me. It was like, these assholes made us go up a flight of stairs. How dare they?
Well,
and
so
then,
it wasn't even a flight of stairs, though. So, like, we were on the ground floor, which was floor 1. We had to go up to the 3rd floor. And the only staircase that we had access to was, like, a spiral.
Yeah, which made
so we had to
so
go
much
up 2
harder.
square spirals with this gigantic couch.
Yeah, and then afterwards I'm like, never again. I am never moving this couch on my own fruition ever again. And that's what it leads to today.
Yesterday. But yeah, so, and then when we moved out of my last place, the company we hired, those 2 guys, I swear they worked super slow. They would leave my stuff randomly, like, unsupervised in the parking lot and stuff like that, because they were, I don't know, trying to do multiple things at once, like, put it all in this spot to load it into the elevator, and then leave it all outside the elevator, and then bring it from there to the truck, but it's like my stuff was just being left out like crazy, and I was just like, I don't know.
You just have to have good faith that no one was going to steal it.
Yeah. And then, so it took them 5 hours to load my apartment into their truck.
A 1-bedroom apartment, mind you. Yes.
700 square foot.
3 floors we had to traverse, but
2 floors.
2 floors we had to traverse, but still, it's a small 1-bedroom apartment. He didn't have that much stuff, and it was all in boxes by the time the movers got there.
Yeah.
So it was like furniture and boxes. Don't know why it took, like, it's not like they were breaking either. Like, those guys were working the whole time from what we saw. I don't know why it took 5 hours, but we certainly didn't plan for it to take 5 hours.
Yeah, I was estimated like 3 to 4 hours. Total was 7.
Yeah, because it was terrible.
So, and then
on top of that, he got COVID.
Yeah, so that previous week I had gone on a trip for work, and then I wasn't feeling so hot towards the end of the week, but it was just like regular like allergy stuff, because this was in at like the last week of July, I think.
Sure.
And it just felt like allergies, so I thought nothing of it, but I was not feeling good that Friday, and it was terrible. Mm-hmm. And they showed up. They were supposed to get to my place at 1. They didn't show up till like 2, and they didn't.
I thought they showed up later than that.
When did the movers?
It might have been later.
Come this time around.
They showed up at 9.
Oh, on time.
Like 9, 10.
Yeah, they were supposed to get here.
The 10-minute mark, or 30 minutes.
The time on my invoice says 9:05 is when they got there. So.
Okay, that's fine. If it's like within like 15.
Well, my window was 9 to 9:30.
Yeah, they were well.
Then that's fine.
Yeah.
Then that's fine.
So that was nice that they were on time this time.
Reasonable.
Because last time, they were super late. I was calling them, and I was like, "What is going on?"
They're like, "Where are
and they're
you?"
like, and she's like, "Oh, well, they just finished another job, and they're running late, and now they're stuck in LA traffic." And I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, I don't have all the time in the world."
That's true.
And then they didn't end up finishing till like 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Packing up his apartment, and then we still had to move all of that.
No, well, we didn't finish my apartment. We finished my apartment around like 7:30.
Last time?
Yeah.
No,
because we
didn't get to the house until like late.
It was around 7:30, maybe 8. I would say.
Because then they unloaded. They unloaded so fast.
I thought it was like 11 o'clock. What?
No, because then you and Josh went to go get the pizza and fries.
Yeah, I thought it was like 11 o'clock.
No.
I think it was like 9, maybe.
It could have been 9 at that point when we got food.
I remember getting home so late that night.
It wasn't like past midnight that you got home.
We need to talk to Mom.
She'll have
Mom is there.
Yeah. Mom, be the source of truth.
Because I remember it being like we got to the house at like 11, and because I remember we were like, we didn't think it would take that long, so we were planning to do dinner around like 8 or something when we thought everything would be done.
Yeah, and
that didn't happen because it took so much longer And I remember getting there, like, it being late because we were all wondering, like, man, what are we going to do for food?
Okay, the receipt they sent me was around 11.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was like,
Was it really
late.
that
It was late, yeah, it was late.
The receipt for because I didn't have enough cash.
Yeah.
So then they charged some on my credit card, and there's $145 on top of the $800. So
yeah, it was late. It took a long.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and
it
we
was
only
long.
moved like
Trauma.
15 minutes away. We weren't even moving far.
Yeah, the trauma.
And it was,
That being said,
Yeah.
core memory though with you, Ryan.
Yeah.
We went to go get the food because they were supervising, and I was like in the car because Ian's like, oh, you go get food for us because we need to unpack. I'm like, yeah, sure, that's unreasonable.
I did a mobile order.
Yeah, and then I'm like in the car, and Ryan's like, should I go with you? And then Ian's like, no, don't go. And then I just screamed out the windows like, get in, loser, we're going to get food. And he's like, hell yeah.
I'm like, I'm going with Josh. And I got in the car.
And we had a great time.
We really did.
It was like we were stuck in the fucking drive-thru for McDonald's.
It's almost 11 at this
Yeah.
point, right? And there was nobody in the drive-thru that I remember. It was just taking a long...
There was one lady in front of us
and
that
it was
was
just
taking so
a
long.
long time.
Like that whole day, everything was just like so long. That being said, we were in the car, we were singing our hearts out to random songs that we were making up on the spot. It was a great
We
time.
changed the lyrics of "I Miss You" by Blink-182 to be about pizza because and how hungry we were for pizza. Like, it was just we had a blast.
It
Like,
was a magical moment.
That
It's
is
a core
definitely
memory.
a core memory for me
I'm
too.
glad
And
they had a
I
good
think
time.
about that often because it was just it was a really fun way to end a really long day.
And I felt bad for those movers because they worked they never took a break from when they got to my apartment to when, they left. And we got like 2 or 3 pizzas, I think.
Yeah.
And that's like my favorite thing is pizza.
Sure.
But I didn't eat it because I was feeling so bad. I think I had like a slice or 2.
Yeah, that's how we knew that it was serious.
Yeah.
And then we offered the movers some pizza at the end because we're like,
Didn't you talk to one of them about one piece?
Yeah, I also bonded with one of them over one piece. So you know what? It was a long day for everybody, but we found our moments.
Yeah.
But at the end of the last time, I was questioning like, is it worth it? Because that was a lot of work. I mean, I didn't want to deal with those stairs, so it probably was worth it. But I was like, like that took too long. It was so stressful, and it wasn't it.
Yeah.
But then this time, so I contacted the company about a week ago on Thumbtack. And
different company, right?
A different company, and they were pretty responsive, pretty good. The only thing that really rubbed me the wrong way is at one point he's like, "We're running a 3% discount," and I'm like,
3%? How thoughtful.
Why
I'm like,
even bother?
you charge like $150 per hour.
It's really one
You're
of
giving
those...
me a $3 it's like $3 discount
yeah.
basically.
It's really...
And I'm like,
really
that's kind of like such a slap in the face.
Well, even less. It's like $1.50, right?
3% of 100 is 300.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
no, you're right.
Yeah.
Boop. 3% of 100 is $3.
No, I thought you said it was $150 though, so it'd be less than $3.
If you take 3% of 100 and that's $3, how is 3% of 150 less than $3?
Oh, you're right. We're cutting all this out.
The math wasn't mathing.
No, because I'm like, $50 is less than $100.
Mine was just a slip of the tongue. Yours is like a...
My brain was working, but not correctly.
But yeah,
but it is one of those moments where, like, those rare moments in life, like, wow, nothing would have been better than this. You know?
But I'm just like, really 3%? And then I'm like, oh, I sent you a bunch of pictures of all the stuff we want to move to the email you provided. He's like, oh, I made a typo in the email, so I made a joke. I was like, oh, so can we make that 3% a 5%? Didn't reply. Like, completely ignored it.
Did not even bother.
I'm just like, okay. And, like, I gave them a 5-star review on Yelp because the mover said they're doing, like, a competition for, like, the different teams, and you get, like, a bonus based on that. And I was like, he was really great. Like, I really enjoyed the people I worked with yesterday.
Yeah.
And the guy who was responding to me most of the time was great, but that 3% is such, like, a...
Like, why do that?
Like, it ended up being $26, it's nice to not, because it would have been over $1,100 with that $26, but I'm just like,
But again,
like, you
26
couldn't give me a little more to feel like not so sad. Like,
Yeah.
we're talking about Black Friday deals this year being like terrible compared to like historic like 80% off or whatever, and now they're like 15.
Yeah.
And this is like 3.
Yeah.
And you know it's gonna be expensive because I mean they quoted me 3 to 7 hours, which is $450 to $750 or whoa, $1,050.
Mm-hmm.
So
They did it in exactly 6.
They did it in exactly 6. And then because our building's elevators are still not working, we got charged a stairs fee.
Yeah, it was like $100 or something, right? Yeah.
Which wasn't included with the whole 3%.
No, but okay, so it's funny. So I talked about another I talked to multiple companies. 2 of them were actually based up here to move me down there, and that's like 40 miles away.
You for the drive time?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Which is crazy.
That is
But
crazy.
one of them, I messaged them on Thuntech, and they're like, "Hey, call these numbers, call or text these numbers." So I was like, "Okay, I'll text," because I mean, first of all, it's late at night. Second of all,
also who calls nowadays?
it's easier. Yeah, calling is for important things.
Yeah.
Texting is for if you have some time.
Yeah.
And also, it's late at night.
I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I texted him, and he's like, "Great, call us anytime." And I'm like, "No." And then I texted him, because the people I ended up going with, I was like, "Okay, let me just see if there's anybody else." And so I texted him again, and I was like, "Hey, I can't call, but like, can we talk about this over text?" He didn't get back to me till 2 days later. I'm like, "So you don't want this job?" But yeah, everybody else is either more expensive, or there was this one company that charges a stair fee per hour if their stairs
Per hour?
determined by the number of stairs, and it was like 1 to 10, 10 to 20, like, and for each one of those it was tacked on per hour. And I was like, we have 3 small steps in the front and on the side to get into the house. Does that count? Okay, we're gonna... And then they raised the price like $10, $15 per hour. And I was like, what do you mean? And I know we ended up paying, $100.
Those aren't stairs.
That doesn't count.
Those are steps.
Those
Yeah.
are steps, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
That's
like
outrageous.
I paid $100 for like I guess 3 hours, so $30. But
Yeah.
that's like 20 stairs. Like that was a lot of
it was a stairwell. We went from the ground floor to the second floor, and there was 2 flights of stairs to get up there. So yeah.
So I mean, and
About
$100,
20 stairs, yeah.
whatever. But yeah, it was just ridiculous to me. I'm like, you're gonna charge me for these 3 little steps? Like that's silly.
Absurd. That is actually absurd.
Like if you want, I will bring stuff outside for you. Like I don't want to. But the shocking thing about yesterday, when we moved out of my apartment, my first apartment, they lugged that couch through the hallway and everything. This time, they completely disassembled this couch, and this is like an old 3-seat sides recline. It's made out of it's like a cloth fabric, and it's also already like semi-broken from when we lugged it up 2 flights of stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys just completely took it down, like all the pieces, and put it back together.
Well, what they did is they took the backs of the seats off, essentially, and then it was the bottom that they carried as
No, but they took the bottom apart.
Did they? I thought it
Yeah,
was
because
all
when
one
they
thing.
took it out, it was just a frame. When they took it out of because I thought it was the bed frame that they were taking out the front door. It was the couch. Like they completely.
I thought it was just the bottom and then the tops.
Well, that's what I thought they were
putting
doing.
it back together. They were just putting the tops back on, basically.
I think they put the bottom together before we got back from lunch.
Oh, maybe.
Because yeah, I saw them take apart the whole thing. But I was just shocked. I mean, these people just know how to take apart furniture and put it back, no instructions.
I mean, that was the thing. Like, they knew what they were doing, and they weren't afraid to ask if they weren't sure. Like, they were asking Ian questions like, "Oh, what do you want to do with this? What is this? Do you want to move this?" So they were really good. They were really fluid. They they were on it. And
they
again,
communicated very well, except for
yeah.
when moving from location to location, we were behind their truck. And the only place to stop to get food was a gas station. And I had just asked them, like, "Oh, do you want to take, like, a lunch break, or how do you do this?" Just because it was, like, noon, and we started at 9. and he's like, "Oh, we'll order." What I heard was we'll order something when we get there because that's easier. And I was like, okay, like you're gonna DoorDash. That's what a lot of people do that nowadays. But they ended up pulling over on the side of the road, and then I guess walking to the gas station. But we passed them, and we weren't sure. Like, was there something wrong? Did they not know where they were going?
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't tell us that.
And at one point, he's like, "Yep, my manager called. Like that was a break. You're not gonna get charged for that." And I'm like, "That's fine. We just didn't know what was happening."
Yeah.
So that was the only time. Because like if he said, "Yeah, we'll meet you there. We're gonna grab food," I would have been like, "Okay,
right, that's fine.
Just let me know when you need me there," because we would have gotten food too.
Yeah.
But instead, we went straight there, and then we were waiting for them. So it was a little awkward, but we got everything done that we needed to yesterday. They only took a 5-10 minute break or so.
Yeah,
I feel like they
honestly.
deserve so much more, but
Yeah, we gave him 2 jugs of water. So
yeah, he asked for water, and I was like, I don't have any cups. Because I was thinking of the fridge. I was like, I don't have any cups to get the water out of the fridge. But then I remembered we had like these 4 emergency gallons in the back of the house. And so I was like, wait. And I ran in as they're like pulling out of the driveway. And he was about to back up the truck. And he like looked in the mirror. And I'm just like, water. And he's like, oh, yes, thank you.
also, I gotta say, the dude who was the driver freaking killed it, man. Like, these are narrow LA city streets with cars on one side, small, like, and this is a huge freaking moving truck. And that dude was smooth as hell, man.
So much on this.
Huh?
I'm telling him not to rub on
Oh,
this.
Tell me my foot problem.
Yeah. But this guy was so good with that truck, man. Like,
just finessed it.
Really, like when they were coming in, they parked in the street, and then he backed in. One move, smooth move straight into
But it's funny
the
because
thing.
I think they're used to parking like on the side of the street.
Sure.
Because he was asking me, he's like, "Are either of these cars yours? Can you move them?" And I'm like, "Those aren't mine, but we cleared the whole driveway for you." And he's like, "Oh." Like I don't know if most people don't do that or what, but
But didn't bother this dude. He freaking right in, and then going out, it was like a little harder because they had to kind of make a turn. But I never could have done that. No way, Jose.
Would have made a 25-point turn.
I would have just been like, someone else is doing this because this isn't gonna get
Not
done.
even bothering.
This isn't gonna get done if I'm in charge.
And I wonder if that crew always operates as a 3-man crew or what? Because like if I had just had 2 guys, would it have just been like the main guy and the driver or what?
Yeah, I don't know.
How
Those
it
3
works.
were really good. They did a stellar job.
Would hire them again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then the other stressful thing was just like our parking garage does not accommodate a 13-foot moving truck.
Mm.
So our building manager was like, "Oh, I'll have one of the employees come move the barrier so that you can move your get the truck around to the side door next to the stairwell next to your apartment." But nobody came to help me. So I had them go up to the apartment, and I'm like picking up these giant like yellow
Like
things.
Excalibur.
Yeah. And taking it out of the thing because I'm like, they need to get through. And it was just, there's just added stress because it's a pretty new building and there's nobody on site to
help out.
oversee everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But, and then it's weird because our Wi-Fi is like shared for the whole building.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that can't be secure
It's not.
or fast, but
I hope.
we have yet to try the Ethernet because, like I said, we just moved in yesterday.
We should
We've
checked on our phones what the internet speed was at. Could have done that.
I guess. It's also not accurate because there's only 2 apartments with people in it right now.
That's very fair.
So
But
there's like maybe 5 of us.
But we'll have a point of reference from when it gets worse.
That's true. I mean, we should do speed tests.
Regardless of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to keep track. But,
I like that. Make a little journal.
Yeah, it'd be like, this day it was this much. This day I took a poo. Not related, but...
Have to document it.
Has to document it.
it doesn't happen every day.
It doesn't happen.
But yeah, so... But this time cost a little bit more, but it was so much less stressful on the day of just because the crew was so much more, like, helpful.
Which honestly is great, because, like, you... The build-up to anything that is, like, bothering you, it really bothers you. And I just kept seeing that in your face, like, yeah, I know, we gotta take it one day at a time, though.
Well, I was stressed because the elevator,
Sure.
elevator makes things so much easier when you're moving.
Yeah.
And also gets rid of $100 stairs fees. And
which is crazy because honestly, I'm going to interrupt you for a moment because I'm just thinking about the layout. Like the elevator you access in the middle of the parking garage, so they would still have had to park there and bring stuff in and then over to the elevator and then up and then over to your room. I honestly kind of feel like as hard as it was to take things up the stairs, I think it was a shorter route.
Well, I think it'd be easier for the big stuff and harder for the small stuff.
Yeah.
So they might have done a mixture, like maybe two guys bringing in heavy stuff in the elevator and one guy in the stairs. I don't know.
Because like a lot of stairs, that's a lot of work, but just the elevator is not a conducive environment for, where it was located.
And I always think it's funny because when I picture movers, I picture like, you know what you would see in like Pokemon games where it's all like these muscle men with their Machamps.
And Slack Ops.
For some reason.
And they're like, hooah! And then all the 5 guys that have moved me have all been like smaller guys, and I mean, but that's so much work. They do the lifting on dollies and stuff, but going up a set of 20 stairs like for 3 hours, like I could never.
They would carry stuff up the with the dollies up the stairs though, and they're so smooth with the dollies. Like dang man, like I was watching him take stuff out of the house, and like there's the lip from the door,
and honestly, you're on the dolly somehow.
And then the dude, and I'm just like, whoa, I feel like I was sitting, but like just so smooth down everything. They're very good at what they do.
That's good. I wish I was there, and not working.
Yeah.
If it was your
his manager was off that day. I feel like he could have.
Probably. Probably could have been like, hey, I'm moving. Is it okay if I just not be here?
Yeah, he just didn't want to ask him because you and Mom were coming to help. He's just like, I'm gonna focus on the new job.
Yeah, it's my first week. I'd rather not do it.
It's understandable. Would have liked to have you there.
Sure, yeah. I would have liked to be there too.
Yeah. It's okay. I just made him sweep the floors.
It's true. You're on the phone call and I'm just like sweeping the whole house.
I know. I could tell because you were very far away.
Yeah. It's like Ian messaged me when I was getting off of work, and he's like, "Oh, meet me at the old place." And I'm like, "Oh, sure." No contacts whatsoever. He's like, "Okay, whatever." And I'm like, "I'll do that." Gets there. He's just sitting in a chair in the middle of a room. He's like, I've been expecting you. Now he's on his phone. But
I was writing the Yelp review for Dan.
Yeah, and then we're just sitting there talking, and eventually he gets on the phone because I'm in trouble by the way I organize
I didn't get on the phone yet. You started sweeping first while we were talking.
Literally, as you started calling is when I started sweeping at the same time. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter.
We were talking. We were talking, and we moved into the kitchen because you grabbed the broom from the kitchen and you started sweeping. Yeah. And whatever you said reminded me that they had issues with the way you packed stuff.
Because I was in trouble for that, which is understandable. But
we weren't in trouble. We just had some grievances.
Would you like to?
No, I want Josh to finish the story.
But like I was just in the middle of sweeping, and it's like yeah. I told Josh to come over here so we can sweep. It's like, oh, is that what I'm here for? Is that what I'm here for?
Well, we had to clean, because I thought the buyers were going to walk through this morning, so I was like, we have to sweep the floor.
No, I understand that. You just didn't tell me that.
You didn't tell him that part of it.
I figured you knew we had to clean.
No, I just
That's a lot of assumptions you're making there, buddy.
I thought there was some other stuff that we needed to take over, which we did.
We did.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We took the rest of our stuff, and we had to clean.
Yeah. But that was not the first thing you told me. So
I'm with Josh. If I showed up and you're like, yeah, I called you here because we have to clean, I'd be like, why didn't you tell me that that's what we were going to... Like, I get it. Yeah. Yes, it has to be done, but it's the preparation.
Yeah. Does it also change anything?
And the omission of details.
No, we're still going to do it, but I could have probably gone to, like, the new place and changed into more, like, suitable clothes. I was just in my work clothes. I was working up a sweat.
That's fair.
I was working up a sweat.
He was working up a sweat.
And then you're like, why are you so sweaty?
And his brand new polo shirt, you're going to make him sweat?
Yeah, he wore the green one too.
I did.
I bet he did. Yeah. You're making him sweat.
You know, the other thing is, I don't think about what you wear to work because I'm so used to being able to wear such casual stuff.
Sure.
That you don't have to change after work. Sure. Like, that's a new thing.
No, I agree with that, but at the same time, like, I was in my...
No, I know, I didn't think about it because or else I would have probably brought you a change of clothes.
It's just a communication thing. Yeah. It's just so Josh can be prepared for what to expect.
See, but the thing is, he and the way his family communicates would have given me the same amount of information that I did.
That doesn't make it okay!
Yes, I agree. I'm with him. It doesn't make it okay. You know I have problems with that too. I have issues with it. Do I do it myself? Absolutely, because that's the environment that I grew up in. But I also have issues with
just
it.
saying you can't.
And you come from a line of family that every little detail is told. So this is very out of character for you.
Yeah, no. I mean, let's look at if the roles were reversed, Ian.
Yeah.
How would you feel?
Yeah.
You'd be like, you didn't tell me you were gonna
Exactly.
See, but I also probably.
And then he would have been like, I'm not cleaning anyway.
I mean, he does it anyway. That's the problem.
But if somebody said like, "Oh, meet me at this house," if I wasn't sure why, I might ask why.
Sure. I was also at work.
He
when
was
you
also at
said
work,
that.
Ian.
Yeah.
It's his 4th day.
Can we pause it?
Sure. Who's
Paused. And action. I don't remember.
I'm sorry to cut it off. I'm getting my car serviced today, and they called me because I had been replying because we were recording a podcast. So yeah, moving.
Yeah. We had such a good flow.
We were. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we were really in the thick of things.
Yeah.
Stupid Ben calling me right in the middle of a flow.
Ben, flow killer.
Ben from Mazda. But yeah, you guys were probably complaining about something.
you weren't
but
cleaning.
did you
We
want
were
to?
all complaining about something.
Did you want to tell them about your mom's grievances with Josh?
Yeah.
Josh's packing.
We want to put Josh on blast.
Yeah,
Of course we do.
Put me on blast.
All right. So
it was funny because the build up to it was like, Ryan and my mom have something they want to talk to you about something. I'm like, okay, am I in trouble or something? What's going on?
So things kept happening yesterday while we were unpacking, and Ryan will get into specifics. And they'd just be like, what is with this? And I'd be like, I don't know, talk to Josh. And, like, I didn't do any... He had a week off before his new job, so he was in charge of packing.
Sure.
And they had
apparently
questions.
Not up to date on a lot of things.
They had questions about it.
Go ahead, Ryan.
And some of the labels on the boxes.
Go
So
ahead,
yeah,
Ryan.
take it away.
I'm not even going to talk about
Your
the
camera's right there.
This is your camera.
Alright. Listen. Alright. Listen.
Yeah, tell me.
Alright, I'm not gonna get into the mislabeling.
Sure.
There was one box that I felt like it was labeled like food, something, and other things.
Food, bathroom, and other.
There was no food or bathroom items
here's
in
the
that
thing.
box.
Here's the thing about
It
that
was
box.
from your office.
No, so here's the thing about that box. I did not write that food.
Oh, okay.
That was from a previous time.
And that's from the label that you probably wrote when we moved out of my apartment.
Yeah,
so you
that
didn't
was
change
your
it.
writing.
You have to change it.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, what I told him is I was like, why didn't you at least cross it off?
I'm like,
Because we were opening this box because we were looking for anything to do with the kitchen.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because that's what we were putting away because we were out of the way of the movers.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I picked up that box because I'm like, oh, this says food. And then we open it and we're like, nothing is edible. And
That's enough. Yeah, I'm like, there's no food or bathroom in here. This is all Josh's stuff. But that's another point about you is you like look at the writing, man. We have very different writings styles.
I'm not paying attention to the handwriting. I'm just reading words.
But anyway, let's get back to Josh. Stay with
You put me back
That's
on blast.
not the point. The thing. Okay, so we're.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So we're, as Ian said, we're taking about the stuff in the kitchen so we can put the kitchen together. Because the kitchen's out of the way, movers aren't around us, they're doing their own thing, we could get this done, right?
Mm-hmm,
So we're taking out appliances, right? We're taking out pots and pans. Everything. I'm not kidding. Everything was dirty. It was like food caked on it. The cheese grater had cheese particles still in the grater. Like, nothing was clean. And, like, I get that when you're living your life, you do what you want. But to me, and to my mom, when you're packing stuff up, that's your time to clean it. Get a wipe. Clean it off.
It was presentable and that was good.
It
enough
was
for me.
not presentable.
The cheese grater one, that was a misfire.
But there was
No,
like
Josh,
grease on other pages.
Josh, the blender had like white stuff caked on it. The toaster, I moved it and it sounded like a rain stick with the amount of breadcrumbs in there. Just dump it out, man.
I did dump it out.
You did not dump it out.
They stuck.
It was
No,
on the
I
outside.
think there's
Look,
a tray in there that you're supposed to
I
pull
took
out.
that
All
out
I'm saying.
and I dumped that
all
out.
I'm saying, get a Clorox wipe and just wipe stuff down before you put it in a box. Because there was a pan that had grease like caked onto it. Like it just We're picking stuff up. They're sticky. We're in a new place. Fresh, brand new start. Let's start it off fresh.
Yeah, don't cross-contaminate,
You're
babe.
cross-contaminating. We're taking, as my aunt said, you're taking dirt from one place and you're putting it in another place. We gotta start off clean. We gotta clean our stuff when we put it in a box. It's a good time for it.
That apartment wasn't started off clean anyway. There's so much dirt and spider webs.
Again, like, I get it. You know, you don't have to deep clean everything all the time, but, like, to me, like, this is the time you clean stuff. Both of you... Well, you know, throw out stuff you don't need. There's a lot of stuff that we just threw out. Could have done that beforehand. Go through stuff because we're packing it up. You know, I just feel like it's a bit haphazard.
Sure.
With
everything
our
was just thrown into a box as is.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it was. I just feel like there could have been a little foresight.
It's okay. This was baby's first packing.
Baby, okay. Yeah, I know. I get it. I'm not... like I said, you're on trouble, Josh.
I don't know.
You're on trouble.
The way that Ian presented it was like, they have words. I'm like...
I was trying to say it, but I because the whole thing is just so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, because literally, we would take something out and be like, "Why is this sticky? What is it? You didn't clean this?" And Ian's like, "I didn't do it. Talk to Josh."
Talk to Josh.
Yeah, so they're gonna get me a shirt that says "Talk to Josh," and he's just gonna have a shirt that goes, "Hi, I'm Josh."
Yeah. That being said, there was one box that had the holder of the rice.
Oh. It's spilled.
It's
everywhere.
All the rice is on the bottom of the box.
The rice. And Ian looked at me and was like, "Are we just gonna get rid of it, or
wait?
Are we gonna?"
Can you explain to me is there something that we should have done preemptively?
You know, the rice. We probably should have taped the lid down.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But I asked Mom. I was like, "Will this be fine?" And she said, "Yeah." So I was like, "Okay."
Little did she know, it wasn't. But yeah, there's rice all over the box. And Ian's like, should we get rid of the rice and stuff like that? That's expensive rice-ish rice.
I mean, okay, wait. So it's in a box, right?
It's in a box, yeah.
And it's one of the new boxes from your work.
Yeah, so like, we can tip it over. It's fine.
It depends on what else is in the box.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was picking it up and just like...
Yeah. And I just looked
There's
at
your
it
rain
like,
stick.
I mean, yeah. Dude, that toaster though, seriously, man.
But you want to...
And the top was dirty too. Like, I'm just saying, a rag, just clean stuff off before you put it away. That's all I'm saying.
You want to tell him what you said when we were unpacking his cleaning supplies?
I don't remember verbatim,
What did you say?
The intention was how surprising to me it was the amount of cleaning supplies you had for how little they were used.
Listen, they get used.
They do get used. He's very good at cleaning the floors.
Yeah.
I'll give you that, yeah.
And like countertops?
Sure.
I clean other shit. I clean the windows.
I'm not saying you don't. Yeah, he
Yeah. I do a lot of cleaning.
He does.
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
Yeah, you should
be.
Ian doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't do
Look,
shit.
this isn't, we're not only putting Josh on blast, because like I said, I know that all this was this way before. I'm not saying Josh dirtied a bunch of stuff and put them in boxes.
Yeah, someone is also part of the
Ian
dirtying
is just
process.
as comparable for this as Josh is.
No, but the funny thing is that
to me, it's like when you're putting things in a box, you just like I would have just cleaned things off before.
But the funny thing is that in our relationship, you know, I've always been like the dirtier one, and he's very like that. Everything has to be clean. If he sees dishes in the sink when he comes home, he will clean everything.
You know what's funny? I wasn't that bad, babe. I wasn't that bad, and then I met you, and it stressed me the fuck out.
It changes something, doesn't it?
It stressed me the fuck out of how dirty you can get things.
There's a reason why I'm hesitant to even the idea of living with him again, because I know the dirtiness and what that does to
I just want to say... Okay.
Yeah, we're putting on your blast.
No, but I want to say, I feel like, yes, I'm messy and dirty, but I feel like I'm not, like, at the top of the scale. Like, if you
could be worse.
You could be worse. It doesn't make it any
No, but
better.
I'm trying to paint a picture for our audience, right? Because they have no context. So I want to say if this is like a scale of 1 to 10, I feel like I'm a 6.
No, 7 to 8 for sure.
No, that's so dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian would come when we were living here. He would come into the playroom for like 5 minutes, sit down, and leave with a wake of trash behind him from the snacks he would eat and just leaving the wrappers on the floor.
You have told me stories about how you left your room filled with like a layer of Legos with a single tab.
I would play with my Legos, and I didn't want anyone to bother me. So they
you set up a trap.
Mom,
Half of these are stolen from me, by the way. I want to point
I
that
believe
out.
it.
that is not true.
The
But
people.
this is not what we're talking about. But no, and during Christmas time, what I told, because the way this came up is I told Josh during Christmas time, we would hide presents in my room. And Mom always told me that there had to be a path in my room so that she could walk through. It was fine otherwise. But during Christmas time...
Set up a trap.
But during Christmas time, there would be no path because I don't want her to find the presents that we hide in my room.
How many times have we cleaned your room and there's bags of goldfish behind your bed and plates of the crust of quesadillas from late night snacks? Look.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
I know. Don't hide, Ian.
I'm going away now.
Oh my god.
See, and the thing is
Silence!
No.
I am the king. We
Doesn't
will not
matter.
talk
No,
about this.
mutiny. This is what we're talking
Yeah.
about. Can you let me finish what I was going to say? What I was going to say is
Okay,
I'm not
one big
entirely
outside.
sure you're fully aware of the destruction you leave behind.
But I feel like it...
You're not.
Especially
sometimes.
since I moved out, it hasn't been as bad as that, though.
I don't know. I don't live with you anymore.
Yeah.
I just know what it was like when you were here, and I know what it's like when I go visit you, and it's not always great.
It's not always great, but it's not that bad.
There's flour all over the table. Have you seen your fridge? I'm not...
You tip that over.
This is what I'm saying.
We don't need a frickin' mushroom to hold the baking powder anyway.
Regardless of, you still tipped it over. You just shoved your pizza box in there and tipped it all over.
And,
Yeah, but...
Well, no, that's not the problem. The problem is it's been a month, and it's still there.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You can make messes, but you gotta clean them
He
up.
told me he cleaned it.
Sure.
All right, let's circle back to moving because it was an important tangent.
Moving and cleaning.
Yeah,
But-
this episode is called moving/cleaning.
Yeah. Movie/attacking.
I feel very attacked
You
right
should.
now.
Maybe you should. Because, like I'm saying,
Maybe
it
you
was.
should.
I don't think it as badly.
I'm just saying,
They've
I
been
think-
telling me this since I was a child.
And nothing has
It
changed.
hasn't registered.
Yeah. Something's not clicking. If something's going on for a prolonged
I
period
think
of
it
time.
just takes a little bit more awareness.
I
of
also
it.
just get yelled at for a lot of things.
Sure.
Anyway,
Don't we all?
but
But yeah, moving.
but yeah.
Yeah, the original
But
topic.
basically, I also moving's a very expensive thing. It's very stressful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Would you say that it's worth it?
Depends on where you're moving to and
What do you
from.
mean by worth it? Like
Worth the
paying
cost.
movers?
Yeah.
See, part of me always wants to be just not spend the money because I could do it myself. My thought process for the longest time was always if I could do it myself, then why pay someone to do that? That being said, I understand the intricacies because of moving the couch one time. I'm like, I don't want to do this ever again, and that's where okay, maybe movies are worth it.
Yeah, because I think we did a good job. Maybe save 30 minutes of their time. So $75 for moving the loads that we did to the apartment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that would have taken us forever to move it all. Not all of those boxes fit in my car.
Mm-hmm.
We had
if you wanted to do it yourself, I would say you would have had to rent
Rent
a
a moving
U-Haul
home.
truck or something
Mhm.
at least.
See, but the other thing is, we filled about half. I think about exactly half of that 13-foot tall moving truck.
Right.
So that is bigger than most U-Hauls, and I wouldn't have wanted to
It
drive
would have
it.
been two trips or something.
Yeah,
That's the thing is if we did it ourselves, it would have taken a lot longer.
yeah. So I definitely appreciate the time saved and the fact that they took apart furniture, they put it back together.
Yeah.
They're liable for anything that they broke, which
That's honestly the big thing for me. It's just the big things.
Yeah.
How are we gonna transport that? Transporting is always the big issue.
or
in
even
my
just
head.
sometimes heavy boxes. There was one pots and pans box that I was like, I don't want to carry this up the stairs.
Sure.
I know we did a couple, but there was one that was really heavy, and then that giant plushie box I would have grabbed, but didn't fit in my car. It also wasn't easy to hold, but
No, it was an unusually large box.
but also just watching them stack 6 boxes of different shapes on one dolly and just carrying it like it's nothing.
Mhm.
Like I
they
said,
they
dude,
played
they're-
Jenga.
They're pros,
Yeah.
man.
But-
They're pros.
Yeah,
Talent
shout out
in
to
what
you,
they did.
Dan and the crew.
Dan and crew.
But yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it depends on what you define as worth it. I think it's worth it because it saved time. It saved a lot of energy. And, it was more expensive, but it was done professionally.
Yeah.
Whereas we may have broken more things. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
because we're not professionals.
The couch might not have survived.
They might not have survived. Like, I don't know. Because that would have been really heavy and hard to move.
And it's also nice that they have materials like wardrobe boxes and also like the blankets and stuff to wrap up TVs.
Yeah. There's the stuff like that, the things that you want a professional to handle more than selling yourself. Which, yeah, for the most part, I would say probably having movers is a good choice. Especially if you're going up a flight of stairs of anything. It's like,
I mean, especially if it was the three of us doing it.
Yeah.
Because, like, Mom would have been there, but she can't do a lot of the physical stuff. Yeah.
She would have been
so it would have been the three of us moving your whole place.
At each other.
Yeah.
So do you think the
our
three of
relationship
us
would have...
I mean, just imagine the three of us as the three of them, and how do you think that would have gone?
I'd be the one driving.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
By default. There's no other option.
I'd be the one driving.
Or Mom might have driven. She's driven trailers before.
Fair.
So she might have
Okay.
volunteered for that
Yeah,
role.
she could have done that too. I would have been doing a lot of more of the heavy lifting, I feel.
But we wouldn't have had our whole kitchen done by the time all the boxes were moved. Because that's what we did, the three of us, while they were moving stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot of boxes unpacked while they were moving stuff in. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's worth it. Yeah, it's expensive, but it's like, I think it pays for itself.
Yeah, the time spent having them do it as opposed to yourself is worth more.
I also just think it's crazy because so far I've only paid for like labor, because drive time has been 15 minutes or less for both my moves. So,
Well, that's another thing too. If you're moving like a significant distance with all that, I think that's definitely worth it.
I think Mom said when we
100%.
moved up here 20 years ago, it was about $2,000.
Oh yeah, that's like an hour away, hour and a half away too. So.
But then again, that's worth it because it's such a long distance.
And
And you would have, if you were doing it yourself, you would have to rent a truck to do one trip because you're not doing two trips.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And then when our aunt moved to Texas, I guess she was given $10,000 in moving costs, and that's what it costs to move out there. So moving's expensive.
Moving
It
is
is expensive.
expensive.
Like
And that's a business that's never going away.
It's now.
No.
When I had to move from my
Unless our house
my
started.
parents' place to our old place now, easy.
You had one small bedroom to move.
Yeah, exactly. I had nothing, so like I don't need anything to come pick it up or anything. I could do it myself, and it was nice and easy with your stuff. Like you had more stuff than I did. You had a whole apartment full. So,
Yeah.
So it was understandable why you needed that. And also, I kept telling you like I'm not moving the couch. It's like you wasted.
He's like, I did that once.
Yeah, you wasted your one time with me.
And it was like 2 months in.
Yeah, it was 2 months into our relationship. Like, you're really testing this. You're really seeing if I'm worth it.
He's a good boyfriend.
I'm trying to try to be. And then I look at you and I was like, oh, God, you made me do that.
That resentment lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
But I'm so cute.
No, I don't know if it's worth it. Have you seen that couch?
Yes. I just think it's so funny that the movers are like, oh, I think your couch is broken. It's like, yeah,
we're aware.
He's like, hey, can you come here for a second? And he's like, so you know the back? Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
we're
like,
aware.
yeah, we tried to move it. We moved it up 2 flights of stairs. He's like, oh.
Understandable. I get it. Yeah.
Enough said.
No more words. That's all we need to say.
Oh, we didn't put the timer on this time.
He's been using his watch.
Yeah.
So I think that's about a good...
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else to say? I think that's a good stopping point.
Yeah. Unpacking is not stressful, but like since there's not really a time frame to how to finish it or whatever, or my mind's always like lazy about like it could be done in like next week.
Yeah, we got a lot done last night after you guys left just because we were looking for remotes and stuff. I will say we can probably improve our packing skills because there's a lot of like random stuff and we don't know where a lot of things are.
Yeah, I'm just putting things in the belt.
I just, like I
Clearly
said, I just
labeled.
think a little foresight helps in the long run.
See, my
You do you.
my thing too is like I would rather just have everything in a box and then just like open it up like all right, cool stuff, and then like take it out, and that's easier than having to find specific boxes to go with everything because then that takes more pre-time in the packing portion of it all as opposed
See,
to
but like we could have never finished the whole kitchen or moved the kitchen boxes early
If you
If
didn't know
they
what
weren't
boxes
labeled
were
properly.
kitchen.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So it
It's
definitely
a
helps.
more effort on the front end for an easier time on the back.
And the other thing is, especially when you have like more rooms and stuff, you label them so the movers can put them in the appropriate rooms.
Sure.
So that all the office stuff ends up in the office and stuff like that.
I get it. It's just like the packing portion of it all. Is like since I was doing it solo for the most part, I was like, oh god, there's so much shit.
But also because like you label things like cabinet 1, cabinet 2, and then like middle closet, which all of us were like, what does that mean?
Middle cabinet.
Middle cabinet.
Yeah. It's okay. You don't understand what a sugar donut is either, so it's fine.
Oof. Got him.
But yeah, so.
Yeah,
because usually I think we just put like the room, and maybe if it's like an important item, you put what items are in there.
Sure. You guys move far more than I have.
That's
I mean,
fair.
we didn't participate in our parents' and when we moved up here. Really, we were
but like when we were about to move here before the pandemic, I packed up a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
Like all my stuff, I packed up a bunch of stuff throughout the house and labeled a lot of.
But also because you've just never moved. Like parents have lived in the same
exactly,
location.
yeah.
But
it's a learning.
To me, it just seemed normal to be like, okay, this is in the kitchen, because I wanted to go back in the kitchen.
Sure. No, but I get that now.
That's fair, John. Again, you're not in trouble.
Because the thing, it's not about being super specific. It's just like I want this to go in there.
Sure.
And then I'll put it away.
It's all learning. We do have more experience moving. That's fair.
But yeah, we still got quite a few boxes to unpack, but we've made good progress.
Mm-hmm.
So,
wait, before we finish off, I want to talk about the famous trading card that we just recently got. So this is the famous Lily trading card. It is not available to anyone, and I would like everyone to know that this will be valuable in about 10 to 20 years.
We each have one?
Yeah.
This is, for those...
These are Lily. First and only edition.
This is our aunt's dog, and as previously mentioned, the unofficial mascot of the podcast, Lily. She is a terrier mix.
Lily?
Yeah. Lily.
I feel like you kept saying Lily.
So...
But yeah, so
all of you revel in the awesomeness that is these trading cards that you do not have and are wishing you did.
And collect all your Go Team Therapy Dog cards today.
Yeah, apparently, and I guess this is a small aside, therapy dogs have trading cards.
Yeah, which honestly,
like if you see a therapy dog, evidently you can just... Dude, that's so loud.
Sorry.
Yeah, even outside.
Evidently you could just ask, like, hey, can I have the card? And then they give you a trading card, and that's a thing.
Which, honestly, if I was a little kid, I would love that.
Yeah.
We love that now.
Yeah, it's true. Right? Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, let's get to the beans. Let's pick it up a little bit.
You clip the whole mic. Alright.
Well, you can cut the second out.
Yeah.
Colors.
Give me orange.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me green.
Who's like a cherry pie?
Yellow.
Okay. What did you pick?
Orange.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I thought you picked yellow. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me slice of cherry pie.
If only somebody picked purple.
Oh man, the one time!
There's 5 purple, a green, and a yellow.
Alright, we're tied. Go again.
Okay.
Don't put them back. Just
I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I thought about it.
Yeah, that's why I said something.
And then I was like, no, I don't think we want to.
It's yellow and green. Move on.
So there are 2 orange, so that brings Josh's total to 2.
I thought it was just between you guys.
No, it's live.
There's 1 green,
Ooh,
so Ryan's at 2. And are we counting this as yellow?
Yeah, that's yellow.
And 2 yellow, so 3 yellow.
Oh my god, Ian wins again.
The
reign of Ian.
The tyranny.
The reign of Ian. You're like Napoleon. You got the throne and you won't let it go.
You're like Napoleon. You always like to put things on your head as a hat.
You're like Napoleon. You're really short and have an anger problem.
You're like Napoleon. You spread the plague.
Alright, why are we...
I don't know.
This is the new
I'm not about this. So next, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram is our most used social media so far. We're hoping eventually to get stuff onto TikTok, but I've been bad at that. And yeah, we'll see you next time on Ian's podcast. I mean, the King of the Bean.
The king of the bean, and don't you ever forget that.
All hail Lord Ian.
All hail
All
tyranny.
Lord Ian. All hail.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Guys, it wasn't recording. Oh my god.